everyone, we're just going to wait for probably another minute to make sure that everyone that's signed up has signed on. Okay, hey everyone. Thanks for taking the time to join us today for this webinar. Today we'll be talking about our secret behind generating over $20,000 in revenue with one video. My name is Amber. I'm the content strategist at Ember Tribe. I won't be taking up too much of your time because I know that you're really here to see the star of the show, Jackie. But I did want to tell you a little bit about myself and a little bit about Ember Tribe and why we're even having this webinar. So some background on Ember Tribe is that we are fueled by results. So we're very data driven. Everything that we do comes from the numbers and analytics that we pull. So sometimes I think people view branding as being just about what's pretty or what looks right. And that can be true, but that doesn't always translate to what's going to generate revenue. So we like to think outside of the box. Branding is really important and we're not going to throw it away. We are going to think a little bit differently about what will actually catch an eye. So for example, some folks might think that maybe a video of just a product is going to look really great and wonderful and get all the views, but maybe for their particular product, it's hands-on and you need to see someone actually interacting with it. And through data that we can get from running different ads or running some organic content, you can get a better idea of what's actually going to work for your brand and what's going to bring in warm audiences. So I'm going to introduce Jackie, and then I'm going to ask you a few questions to get you thinking about video marketing. You'll also notice that throughout this workshop, there's some poll questions that are going to pop up. You can choose to answer them if you want. You can ignore them if you want. Really, it's just supposed to get you thinking about how you interact with videos yourself or how you're using videos in your marketing strategy. So let me do a quick intro of Jackie, and then she's going to introduce herself further in a little bit. Jackie hails from New York. She has joined Ember Tribe as the creative director, so she's the mastermind behind all of the great videos that we're producing right now. She's going to tell you why you need video marketing in your mix. She's going to tell you a little bit about how we combine that data-driven insights with brand storytelling. Brand storytelling is her expertise, and the data-driven insights are our expertise. And we found that if we can marry them together, you can create really awesome video content that gets the results that you're looking for. And then finally, she's just going to dig right into that stuff that she knows best, the types of video content you should be using, and the anatomy of a great video. So get excited. It's going to be really awesome. So before we get started, I'm going to ask you these questions and then let you kind of mull over it for a couple seconds. What comes to mind when you see or hear the words video marketing? Okay, so for some people, video marketing just strikes fear into their heart. They have no idea where to start. They're like, oh, it sounds expensive. It sounds really hard. Or I don't have an iPhone. Like, I don't have good quality video. You know, that's maybe your opinion. What we're hoping to do is we're going to define video marketing in a way that makes it seem a little more accessible. Like, ooh, that's not really scary. It's actually really valuable, and it's something that I want to invest in. Now, what types of creative assets do you currently have in your toolbox? And then based on that, so what I mean by creative assets, you probably already know, but in case you don't, creative assets would be the pictures, the videos of your products that show off like how great they are, how unique or special they are, or just make them look generally appealing to an audience. So what do you have of those in your toolbox that you can use for ads or organic content, blogs, landing pages, and so on? And then when you think about that, are they working for your needs? And your needs as an e-commerce brand is to get sales. So you're trying to get traffic to your site and then convert that traffic into paying customers. So do you think that the creative assets that you have in your toolbox are working for that need for conversion? So finally, this is the big question. Why invest in video content? And for this one, I'm going to answer it for you. So you can think about it all you want, but I am going to go over some facts. So a study found that 93% of marketers say they've landed new customers because of a video on social media. Social media is probably where you're going to see video the most. Just scrolling through your feed, how many times do you see a video ad and how many times does it catch your eye? I mean, I feel like I've fallen trap to many a purchase because of social media videos. 12 times, that's how many more shares videos generate on social media compared to text and images combined. It used to be, Instagram, that's the picture place. It's not really the picture place anymore. It's the Reels place. It's the video place. It's the new TikTok. So you're really trying to get, views based on videos. They're even higher up in the algorithm now than just images alone. Okay. Another study found that 82% of all consumer internet traffic is projected to come from videos by 2022. 80%, that's huge. That means that so many people are going to be coming to your website when they see a video. Video is dominating the scene right now. So you definitely want to be on top of that. So I'm going to stop boring you with these facts, and I'm going to go ahead and pop you over to Jackie. She's going to talk a little bit about her story and get into the real reason that you're here, which is what makes a great video and how can I make a great video that warms audiences.
Thanks for that intro. I can't wait to show what we've been working on with everybody. This is just some really exciting stuff to be learning about with Ember Tribe, and I think it's gonna be so awesome. And I can't wait to share it. So let's get right into it. Here's just a little bit about me. I went to school for film, and I just really loved all the classes about character development and screenwriting, and you can definitely see that type of creativity come out in my work. For 10 years, I was an entrepreneur. I had my own video production company, and I got to work with some really awesome clients. The National Park Service, University of Puerto Rico, the United Way, and every time I approached a project, I had this same motto that it's all about the story. I just really believe in the power of the story because it literally predates writing. It is the earliest form of art, and it is a super functional tool for conveying facts. So it's something that can be beautiful, but it's also something that is crazy useful, especially when you talk about combining moving image with sound and music and story. Then it's just like an infinite amount of information that can be conveyed in a short amount of time. And so I would definitely say that my passion comes from that always, from the story. So, okay, you get it. I really love stories. And while I'm over here getting obsessed over that, Ember Tribe is getting obsessed over results. They're all about growth and data-driven insights, which makes us a really great team. So we banded together, and as you can see, we kind of have different values, but at the same time, they are crazy compatible. One of the mottos from Ember Tribe is ask for forgiveness, not permission. I love that. I could definitely learn a lot from that, and I already am. I mean, how else can you just say, go for it? Like, take risks sometimes, and just do the thing that you're good at. And I just love that. And you look on the other side of it, my motto is be honest, tell a story, and make it sexy. That's just, the simplest way that I can say have fun and make things interesting and informational for people. If you're being genuine and you're being honest, there's nothing you can do wrong. And telling a story, I think we talked enough about that. And make it sexy is just, I don't know, like making things look really good and fun and lighthearted for people. That's the kind of work that I love doing. I love even sometimes making people laugh if you can. Like, humor is a great way to get people engaged. So that's my motto, and I think it goes really well with Ember Tribe's mottos. And also, they feel that creativity and careful analysis work best together. So I mean, that's basically E.T. and J.O. combined right there because they take care of the analysis. And I'm all about the imagination, the communication, the language, the ideas, the music. And that's what I do well. And I love that we can leave the skills up to the experts. And I can rely on Ember Tribe to take care of the insights and teach me a lot about the analysis part of this work, while I can be free to be imaginative and tell my stories. And and we make a really great team that way. So this made us realize that growth marketing plus brand storytelling make the perfect formula for creating awesome video content. It has been thought that these two things are separate, and they are incredibly different. There is so much about growth marketing that I do not understand. But when we combine the best of both worlds, we create a formula that is unstoppable for engaging content. On the growth marketing side, it's all about following the concrete data, optimizing your marketing for conversions, using strategies that you can test and that you can measure. They don't throw spaghetti at the wall. They know exactly what they're doing and why. They have spreadsheets and numbers and calculations and data that show them and give them the proof of what works and what doesn't work. And on the brand storytelling side, you want to define trustworthiness and relate to your consumers' values and define a quality of offerings. Prompt an emotional response and identify consumer insights. It's really our job to put ourselves in the shoes of the consumer and try to figure out, what do they need? What do they want? What's not working for them? What is working for them? And then try to maximize on those things that will make them have a better experience. And as always, tell a story and connect with the consumer on a deep level. And if you haven't gotten tired of hearing me say story yet, tell a story. Data-driven creative is possible. That is the secret formula. The winning creative can absolutely be fueled by results and by numbers and by intent based on your research. When you combine the genuine and authentic medium of storytelling and you're just real about it, you combine that with smart analytics, you've basically just spun gold, because you're connecting with people, you're being real with people, and you are using a really smart way to provide them with information that they actually need. This is why video is cool. Here are some facts about human behavior as it relates to video. The average human consumes 100 minutes per day. That's 11 hours per week of video content, 25 days a year. So 25 days of the year, you're sitting on your tuchus and you're watching some videos, whether it's streaming, binging, but mostly it's honestly on social media. So this is the platform, this is the world platform to be on, where people are really listening. Videos connect with the consumer on an emotional level. So that really helps to foster trust within your brand, because you're just being you and you're telling them, what you're about and what you care about. And 95% of messages, this is really cool. Like when people watch a video, they retain 95% of what's said in the video over just reading it in text, which is compared to 10%. And that's because video content appeals to all of your senses. You can spark memories for people with the use of a certain song. You can make them taste something that their grandmother used to cook them by showing them really up close shots of a certain dish. It's amazing to be able to connect with people on such a human level while also taking so much complex information and compacting it into this beautiful little package for people to watch and enjoy. And it can have that effect on them, and it also teaches them things and gives them information that is essential. So in that way, it is such a unique tool, not just because it is popular now and because it is what everybody watches, but because it's just extremely efficient. Here are some common problems that we see with video. There are so many cheesy videos out there with cheap messaging. These days, I see a lot of stuff where it's just people acting super cocky and I just want nothing to do with what they're trying to sell me. And so that's something we try to stay away from by just being honest and not trying to come off too pushy or cheap. Another thing is if you have a limiting brand profile from someone, it can make it really hard to be creative if you are stuck within these very strict boundaries of language and colors. Those things are definitely super important for branding and to have a certain look, but you also want to make sure that you work with people that are giving you space to come up with the gold that they deserve to make their stuff look awesome. This is the worst thing. Long production schedules. I am just not about that at all. I like to do things that are pretty simple and clever, that aren't going to take like months and months and months to figure out all the logistics and write all the scripts. I mean, I love writing, but I like things that are more short form. And it works out because most of the content that people are most interested in is a lot of that short stuff. I mean, look at stories. When stories came out, those are 15-second clips. People just sit there and go through them, and it's that short content that really kills. So staying away from long production schedules is really something that I always try to do. And the scope creep. This is just like when you start working with someone, and you kind of go into it with ambiguous decisions about what exactly you're going to do for the video, and then you just keep adding stuff. It's kind of like when you start to renovate a house and then you find out, oh crap, we need to like rebuild the foundation, or we need to like put all new electrical. And those aren't things that you can see from the outside, but once you get in there and you start working on it, it's like way too late. And then before you know it, your timeline is dragging on and you keep adding money to the production. We have a few ways. We set expectations and we set boundaries way early in the process for everyone, so that we can make sure that something like that never happens, because it's not good for us either if things drag on and things get more expensive. It's just not an efficient way to do things. Here are a couple solutions for keeping your videos from getting boring. Number 1, create a message that has a purpose, something that's interesting. Just be honest and tell the truth. Honestly, it goes a long way. Number 2, follow the data. Analyze what you know, and use it. Put it to work for you. Number 3, develop a process. This is so valuable. Once you start to get into this work and you figure out the way that the machine works really well, you just follow that same formula over and over and over again, because you know it's a tried and true way to do it. So once you develop that process, you know it's worked before, it's going to work in the future. And it is so valuable, it saves so much time, and it ensures high quality products every time. You have unlimited power to share anything that's important to you. And that's all really you have to think about. Just keep it simple. And why should your brand tell a story? And we're going back to my little motto, be honest, tell a story, make it sexy. Simply, like, it's honest. Stories sell experiences, so it's a win-win. You're being genuine, and you're sharing something useful and essential with the world. It connects with people on a genuine and emotional level. This is a little equation I came up with. Information plus the heart equals impact. So if you are conveying information and you're doing it in a passionate way, how could somebody not be impacted by that? It would be really hard to find somebody who would not find this charming as hell and useful. So that's my little formula that I share with you. And then also images plus copy plus music. That equation is great for catching attention. Now I'd like to share a little bit about my process for making brand story videos. So that's a little ad that I made for Proof Old Fashioned Cocktail Syrup. It is this awesome product that basically does all the work for you. You just pour in your spirit and you've got a fancy cocktail. There is not much to this ad. When I received the product, I sat with it and said, what would I want to do with this as the consumer? I really put myself in the consumer's shoes and I genuinely experienced the product. And I just said to myself, wow, it would be so nice to be sitting next to a fire and having a fancy Manhattan. Like, and then to not like have to make it a whole production, right? So that's exactly what I did. I went and I built a fire and I set up a scene. I enjoyed it for myself and then I shot it. And the camera doesn't move. It's all one shot. All it does is give a sense of a feeling. And this ad generated more than $20,000 in revenue. So there are vibes with music. There are vibes with color. It makes you feel nostalgic and warm. It also just straight up makes you jealous and makes you wish, damn, I wish I was sitting next to that fire having that cocktail. And that's making people jealous is probably the best way to convince people that they need your product, because that one gets me every time if I have FOMO and I'm like, oh man, I want that. But yeah, this is the ad. This is the ad that generated more than 20K in revenue. And as you can see, it is not that complex. We didn't use cranes. We didn't use famous actors. We used our cleverness. We used our genuine human ability to tell a very simple story. And it obviously connected with people and created an action on their end. So it's really, really cool to see that we can create messages that aren't so complex and people like them and they listen to them, and it actually makes a really big difference. Here's a reality check. What keeps e-commerce brands from adding video content to their asset library? This is what they hear from their clients. I don't have time. I don't have the energy. I don't think I have the funds. I don't have the equipment, actors, location, script writing. I don't have the expertise, and I don't even know where to start. Okay, well, did you know 94% of consumers say they've watched a product demo to learn more about a product or company? Sorry. Guess I should have spell checked that, but hey. Seriously, it's worth it for all that, because 94% of the consumers out there have watched a demo before they have felt like they can trust anything about that company. So here is a little more insight, and we're really pulling back the shades and showing you everything. This is the formula that we have invented for creating engaging video content. Now, we're not talking Hollywood movies. We're talking like explainer videos, product promos, lifestyle videos, and we'll get more into what all that means. But these are the 4 that we have whittled down that we think will ever be needed by someone as a promo, especially for e-commerce and for social media marketing. Product demos, product promos, unboxing, and lifestyle videos. There are only 4 kinds. Oh, look at that person. She looks interesting. So let's review the first kind, a product review or demo. This is basically like user-generated content. So even though I'm a professional videographer, I made this video using my Android because a lot of content that is engaging is user-generated and it is lo-fi, meaning like it's not high production value. And I really think there's I feel like there's an honesty behind that people relate to. It doesn't feel intimidating. It feels very touchable. And they can see themselves in that scene. So I think that's something that's really cool about this type of video. So there's your first type, product review /demo. It is the most simple kind. And this kind of video could be turned around in sometimes as short as 2 days, depending on what else is on the deck. But super, super simple stuff, and it's very engaging. Here are just a couple other things about the product review videos. You use them to explain processes. So you can say the steps or the amount of time that it takes to use a product. This is also a great video for when there's a consumer who is really interested in the product, but they're not really committed yet. So this kind of video could help convince somebody who's in the final stage that it's something that would work for them because they're seeing it used in a real life setting. An unboxing video is just that, somebody taking the product out of the box and showing everything the way it comes packaged. And this is a great way just to feature the product as it is. And it's really a fun way to show the pride behind the packaging. It also gives your customers a chance to experience a bit of the product before they actually buy it. And it stands out against competitors who don't have unboxing videos. This is my personal favorite kind of video to produce. I always have so much fun trying to think of cool ways to make the product shine, and I like to do all kinds of things, stop animation, playing with the time remapping in Premiere. It's just, there's a lot of room for creativity here, and for me, I feel like it serves a lot of functions. These are many different ways that you can use a product video. If you're starting from scratch and you don't have any creative ads, this is perfectly what you need to introduce some new flashy creative to your website or to your Instagram. It's great for showing your product's benefits and what makes it unique. And it's really awesome just to see at the top of a landing page, one of these videos, just premiering your product and introducing it to everyone. It's very straightforward, and there's always a cool way that we can make it look awesome. I also love making lifestyle videos. They are so much fun because the possibilities are endless. You go out onto locations and you use actors, and it's really fun to shoot products that are active wear and things that require a lot of movement. And this is a great option if you're introducing your brand story to a new customer, because it gives you a lot of time. It's usually a 60-second ad, and it gives you a lot of time and a lot of imagery to present yourself and to show off your product. It's a perfect way to highlight a certain kind of lifestyle to your ideal customer. So a lot of outdoorsy things are awesome. Basically anything with movement. This is a great way to showcase your product in a lifestyle setting that is realistic and your consumers can relate to. This is the best way we have found to stop the scroll. And if competitors are paying really big budgets for videos, that's totally cool. But we like to focus on positive ROI, and we like to focus on these 4 simple packages that we've come up with. Because not only are we spending less time actually producing the content, but we are really sinking into the experience of the consumer and trying to relate to them and send them a genuine message. And in the end, what is great about that is that we end up getting much more content than if we were engaging in a long form production process. So instead of a very high produced 3-minute advertisement, we can spend a day shooting, and at the end of the day, we are able to edit together 6, 7, 8, maybe even 9 different clips that can be scheduled out over a long period of time and really supply our client with a good arsenal of creative content to use for a pretty long time. So to me, that is definitely a win-win. We don't have to get stuck or bogged down by long production processes. We can give our attention to multiple clients at a time and create really clever, awesome, engaging content and give them enough that will keep them rolling for a while. And we make content that is backed up by data that we know is going to speak to our audiences. And even after we feel like we have done something successfully, we still go and test and make sure that that everything is performing at a very, very high level. And when it's not, guess what? We go back and we fix it. So that is the best part about the Embertribe formula is using the testing and the data to back up all of our creative and just really being real about all of that and keeping it simple. Video is so awesome, so valuable. And no matter where you are in the development of your company, your product, or your service, you have to engage some creative assets. You have to get them in your toolbox. And we shared some ways that you can do any level of complexity from the user generated content all the way up to our lifestyle video offering, which is still extremely simple. So that brings us to our next point, that creating a good video doesn't mean that it has to be hard. It just has to be smart, has to be clever. And, you know, our approach is that if you are coming at it from a genuine human perspective and you are simply telling a story and you're trying to find other ways that might find it interesting or humorous or unique, then you're going to win, and that video content is going to be super engaging. Make sure you use that anatomy to make a good video. It is a tried and true formula that we have tested, and it for sure will give you results. Don't be shy about storytelling. Seriously, it is awesome, and it is the best way to relate to your customer. And you know that you want to tell your story. Everybody wants to share their experience. Everybody wants to share their values. And it is just the best way to connect. And it's the best way to help people understand what you are all about. If you're in doubt at all about where to begin, refer to those 4 video types that we shared today. They are proven to warm audiences. We have used testing and relied on data-driven insights to refine this process, and we know that it works. And it is just a hell of a lot of fun, to tell you the truth. So those are the 4 video types that we created that combine growth marketing and brand storytelling to get the best out of performance and creative. And you get to tell your story while looking like a badass.
Thanks, Jackie. I'm sure that we all learned a ton from you that we didn't already know. I'm sure that we all know when we've seen a great video because it leaves us feeling a certain way, but we don't necessarily know how to make a great video. We just don't know the steps. But when you take a step back and you look at it in the way that you described it, which is in the 4 different types or the 4 different packages that are kind of like a formula for what we know is already working in ads and for landing pages and websites and stuff, it just makes a lot of sense. I'm actually really excited to talk about the next slide, which has to do with Jackie. She's heading up a new service offering that Embertribe is doing. It's video packages. So we were thinking about the need for video, how powerful it is and how valuable it is, but how intimidating it is for a lot of people. And because we have Jackie's expertise, we were able to package it up, just like we were talking about, into those 4 different types so that we're not calling it an off-the-shelf solution, but definitely a solution that you can just say, I want that, give us a call, and we'll talk about it and we'll build that video for you without you having to worry about storyboards or coming up with a concept, because we got that all taken care of. I mean, you heard Jackie talk about it and she's clearly an expert. So what we're doing is videos without the hassle. Sounds awesome. I'm just going to go over the 4 different types that we have because we already talked about them, but let's do it one more time. I'm going to talk about it in a little salesy way. We're going to have the product review videos or demos, and those are going to be an easy way for you to show off your product in a fun and engaging format. We have the unboxing videos. They're really popular for social ads. They're savvy and they're budget friendly. You get to kind of put your audience in the shoes of someone who purchased, like, this thing is really awesome, and look at you, the POV of someone who just bought this awesome thing. We have the product promos, so you can jazz up your creative assets. They'll look really cool and catchy. They'll stop the thumb when they're scrolling. And then we also have those lifestyle videos that kind of put the viewer in the lifestyle of your product. So a lot of times it'll just incorporate the different things that they actually appreciate that might not be totally related to your product, but they definitely show that audience what their lifestyle could be if they have your product. So it's really easy to get started if you are interested in these video packages and you want to talk to Jackie a little bit more. So you can book a call. Step one, you book a call. We can talk about your needs and your goals, and we'll have different recommendations based on what your objectives are. You might come in thinking you really want an unboxing video, and we talk it out a little bit, and maybe you don't. Maybe you need a product promo, something else, or maybe you need a lifestyle video because it's really versatile. So that would be the first step. You pick your video package. You'll send us your products in the mail. We take care of the start to end video production. That's going to be Jackie's expertise. So she's going to do that whole storyboarding thing for you. She's going to do the shoot, work with the actors, do the editing. It's going to look awesome at the end. And then we'll give you the final delivery of your ready-to-use videos. I mean, it's really easy. You pretty much don't really have to do anything except for talk to us on the phone. So if you are interested in that, please go to info.embertribe.com/video packages. If you don't want to worry about typing that URL into the search bar, you can just email us at video@embertribe.com and we'll send you a link to book a call and we can talk about it a little bit more. You will find a little bit more information about pricing especially and the specifications of the products if you go to this landing page, but still we can talk it out over the phone. It's no big deal. And I also have placed links in here for additional resources about how valuable video is and why you should consider adding it to your creative asset lineup. I'm going to include this slide deck in the resources that you'll be getting afterward. So you should just be able to click on the link. It'll take you to the blog post. You can learn a little bit more. If you have any questions, you can shoot them to video@embertribe.com and someone will get back to you really quickly. So thank you so much for coming and spending a little bit of time with us, letting us talk your ear off about video and showing off some of the great things that we've been doing with Jackie. I hope you have a great afternoon and I really hope to hear from you.